Start.
Namaste everyone. Today in this video you are going to understand about gram staining. Okay, before going to understand gram staining, let us go through the staining techniques. Okay, different types of staining techniques like simple staining, differential staining, separation of microbes into groups, gram staining, acid fast staining, and to visualize the various structure of the bacterial organisms, we have cell wall staining, endospore staining, capsule staining, flagella staining, and nucleus staining. Let us go to the simple staining. In this simple staining, we are going to use single stain. Whereas in differential staining, this will be used with the two contrasting stain with the decolorizing agent. In some cases, we will also use the mordant. In simple staining, we have two types of staining, positive staining and negative staining. In positive staining, stain is positively charged and attaches to the surface of object which is negatively charged. This positive staining can also be known as direct stain, and here we are using a basic dyes like methylene blue, crystal violet, safranin, eosin, and basin fusion will be using. And the negative staining will be using Indian ink and acid fusion, and nigrosin will be using. This negative staining can also be known as indirect stain. Okay, why it is indirect? Here the negative staining, the organisms are not stained directly. Instead, the background will be given stain. Why? Because the microorganism cell wall is basically made up of negative stain. Here in this negative staining, we are using the stain which is negatively charged. This repels the negatively charged object and fill the spaces between the objects. That's why in negative staining, microorganisms which look like a stars in the dark sky. Okay, and this will be also that will be known as indirect staining. And now we will be going through differential staining. As the name suggests, differential staining, we are going to differentiate the different groups of bacteria. Here, separation of microbes into groups like gram staining and acid fast staining. In gram staining, we have two types of bacteria, gram positive bacteria and gram negative bacteria. In acid fast bacteria and non-acid fast bacteria. When we go to the visualization of the structure presentation, we will be going through cell wall staining, endospore staining, capsule staining, flagella staining, and nucleus staining. All the microorganisms will be stained or given color or given dye. Why those microorganisms are stained? Because we are going, when we without giving any color to the microorganism, if we focus under the microscope, what happens to the bright field microscope, we won't be able to see that particular morphology and their chemical composition of the cell wall. So we are going to give a color to enhance the visualization and also to see the better arrangement of the cell wall and the morphology. We are giving a color to the microorganisms. So that is about the why we are giving color to the microorganisms. Now let us go to a little bit information about the gram staining. Gram staining is the common, important and most used differential staining technique in microbiology, which was introduced by a Danish bacteriologist Hans Christian Gram in the year 1884. This test differentiates the bacteria into gram positive and gram negative bacteria, which helps in the classification and differentiation of microorganisms. Now let us go to the materials required for this experiment. First and foremost, we need for this experiment pure cultures like bacterial culture you may procure, or you can also get the rhizobium root nodules to perform this gram staining. Apart from that, you can also have pure cultures of gram positive bacilli, then gram positive cocci and gram negative bacilli. Okay. Then we need gram staining reagents. In that first gram staining reagent will be like crystal violet. This crystal violet will be known as primary stain. Okay, and this crystal violet preparation goes like this. You need to take 20 ml of 95% ethanol, and to this add 3 grams of crystal violet powder. Take 80 ml of distilled water, and to this add 0.8 grams of ammonium oxalate. Mix the two solutions thoroughly to obtain 100 ml of crystal violet stain. So this is about the preparation of the crystal violet. Now let us go through the grams iodine. This grams iodine, which is going to act like a mordant or which is a fixative agent. Whatever you added the primary strain, that primary strain which has the affinity towards the bacterial microorganism, this mordant grams iodine, which is going to fix that particular primary strain, which is going to work like a fixative agent, that is nothing but mordant. Now let us understand how to prepare this grams iodine. To 300 ml of distilled water, you are going to add 1 gram of iodine and dissolve thoroughly. To this, you are going to add 2 grams of potassium iodide and mix thoroughly. Then you are going to obtain the grams iodine. Okay. Then we need 95% alcohol. Here the role of the 95% alcohol is like decolorizing agent. As the name suggests, that is going to remove the color from the bacteria if they don't have affinity with that particular stains. Okay. How to prepare? As the concentration suggests here, 95% means you are going to take 95 ml of alcohol. To this you will add 5 ml of distilled water. Then that will be 95% alcohol. Next, the last stain you require, that is safranin, which is known as secondary stain, or you will also tell that as counter stain. How to prepare now? 2.5 grams of safranin is dissolved in 10 ml of 95% ethyl alcohol, and to this you are going to add 90 ml of distilled water. So this is the preparation of the safranin. So these are some of the major reagents and reagents which are required for the gram staining, like crystal violet, grams iodine, 95% alcohol, and safranin. Okay. Then at last we need clean glass slide which is free from any kind of grease or any kind of cross contamination. Then we need inoculation loops, spirit lamp, and to observe these microorganisms we need microscope. Now let us go through the principle behind this gram staining technique. When the bacteria is stained with primary strain crystal violet and fixed by the mordant, that is grams iodine, some of the bacteria are able to retain the primary stain and some are decolorized by alcohol. The cell walls of gram-positive bacteria have a thick layer of protein sugar complexes called peptidoglycan layer, and lipid content is very low or sometimes absence can be seen. Decolorizing the cell causes the thick cell wall to dehydrate and shrink, which closes the pores in the cell wall and prevents the stain from the exiting the cell. So the ethanol cannot remove the crystal violet iodine complex that is bound to the thick layer of peptidoglycan of gram-positive bacteria and appears blue or purple in color. In case of gram-negative bacteria, what will happen here? Cell wall also takes up the crystal violet iodine complex initially, but due to the thin layer of the peptidoglycan layer, thick outer layer which is formed of lipids, right? The crystal violet iodine complex gets washed off in the presence of decolorizing agent, right? When they are exposed to the alcohol, decolorizer dissolves the lipids and the cell walls, which allows the crystal violet iodine complex to leach out or which exit out of the cells. Then that particular cells will be colorless. Then when again stained with the safranin, they take the stain and appears red in color. So this is the principle behind the gram staining technique. Okay. Now let us go through the pictorial representation of the gram positive bacteria and the gram negative bacteria. As you can see, this is the gram positive bacteria cell wall and this is the gram negative bacterial cell wall. In this gram positive bacteria cell wall, you can see the thick peptidoglycan layer. So this is the thick peptidoglycan layer where you can see the teichoic acid and also you can see the lipoteichoic acid you are going to observe. And as usual, you are going to get the cell membrane in both gram positive and gram negative. The major difference, major barrier where you are going to differentiate gram positive and gram negative mainly based on the peptidoglycan layer and the presence of lipopolysaccharide. Okay, whereas in gram negative bacteria you are going to find very less amount of peptidoglycan layer and rich or more amount of a thick layer of lipopolysaccharide layers can be seen in this particular gram negative bacteria. So this is the major difference between the cell wall chemical composition of gram positive bacteria and gram negative bacteria. Okay, now let us go to the procedure of gram staining. The first and foremost important thing is that first step you need to take a clean glass slide which is free from the grease. So this is the glass slide, it should be free from the grease. Why this should be free from the grease? When you have a drop of the oil, to this drop of the oil when you put water and when you go for the mixing, what happens? You are going to get the clots. You are not going to get proper, even, uniform smear. That's why the slide must be compulsory free from the grease and there should not be any kind of other contamination. So I have taken a clean glass slide which is free from the grease. And to this slide you are going to make a smear suspension of the clean onto the clean glass slide with the loop full of sample. So to perform this experiment, now you need to switch on this spirit lamp. Yeah, now our spirit lamp is ready. Here in front of this you are going to, so what is the second step given there? Prepare the smear of suspension on the clean slide with the loop full of sample, right? So let us take the loop full of the sample. Okay, first let us take the drop of water on top of this clean grease free slide. Then take the inoculation loop and expose to the flame and bring the inoculation loop to the red hot condition. Once it has brought to the red hot condition, cool this inoculation loop and take out the inoculum, okay, test tube, culture the liquid culture. You may also get the solid culture in the Petri plate. If you are getting in the Petri plate, what you are going to do, you are going for the rolling method, you are going to expose to the flame like this, right? And by using your left hand, you are going to open the upper lid of the Petri plate and you are going to close and you are going to take out the sample. Today I have the liquid culture. Okay, before taking you need to open the cotton plug in front of the flame. Okay, then take out the sample. Take the loop full of inoculation from the inoculation loop, inoculum, and plug with the cotton. Both the time before and after you need to expose to the flame this inoculation loop and also mouth of the test tube before and after opening and closing. Then go for making a thin smear. As much as possible you can go for the thin and bigger uniform smear. Okay, always it should go for in one direction of this making a smear, not in both the direction. Once the smear is ready, then kill this organism which is present in the inoculation loop. Bring this one into the red hot condition and keep that down. Okay, then once the smear is done, you need to expose to the flame. Okay, you are going for the heat fixing, right? You are going to air dry. First you are going to make a smear, then you will go for the air dry, then you will heat fix. Once heat fixing is done, you need to fix the heat fixing in such a way that lightly you will be exposed to the flame, not directly. If you expose directly, what happens? You are going to kill the microorganisms. You won't be able to study their morphological characteristics properly. So gently just expose to the flame. After this you need to place on the staining stick. Okay, you need to place on the staining stick. Then you are going to put the crystal violet, right? Then what is the next step here? Crystal violet was poured and kept for about 30 seconds to 1 minute and rinse with the tap water or running tap water. You can use running tap water or you can also use the this kind of distilled water bottle. Okay, before that you need to add now crystal violet. Okay, you need to add the crystal violet here. Just flood the crystal violet on top of the slide and leave it for 30 seconds. Once 30 seconds are done or over, then rinse with the running tap water, or by keeping the slide like this you can go for rinsing the slide. Okay, once the rinsing is done, just touch this particular slide to the blotting paper. Okay, just touch this to the blotting paper. Okay, this is the step. Next step, what are you going to do? Flood the grams iodine for 1 minute and wash with water. Okay, now I am going to flood this particular slide with the grams iodine. Okay, gram sardine you can flood over here. After the required incubation time is done, then you can decant the grams iodine. Okay, in some of these steps usually they'll say you need to go for rinsing with water after adding gram staining, but usually you can avoid that one, rinsing with the water. Then now we can directly dip this grams iodine slide, okay, into the 95% alcohol. Okay, just dip that in the 95% alcohol. So then wash with 95% alcohol or acetone for about 20 to 30 seconds and rinse with water. I've dipped in the 95% alcohol for 20 to 30 seconds, then wash with the running tap water. Okay, after washing with the running tap water, then you are going to add the secondary stain, that is nothing but the safranin, for 1 minute. Okay, now I am going to add the safranin and leave it for 1 minute or 30 to 60 seconds you can leave. After 30 to 60 seconds, take out the slide and rinse with running tap water or by using this kind of wash bottles. Okay, then once this is done, air dry the, you are going to touch the blotting paper. Okay, then air dry the slide and observe under the microscope, that is under 100x oil immersion microscope for the further magnification. Before watching under the microscope, you need to wipe the bottom of this particular slide and then you can focus under the microscope. When you focus under the microscope, first you need to focus under 10x. Okay, first you need to focus under the 10x, then you should go for the 100x magnification. Okay, when you focus under the 100x magnification, what happens? You'll be able to see that particular microorganism. So this is the procedure behind the gram staining techniques. Okay, so here we can go through again the procedure of gram staining. Okay, first you are taking the thin film of smear, heat fixed onto the clean slide. Then we have added crystal violet staining for 1 minute, then water rinse for 2 seconds, then iodine solution treatment for 1 minute, which is a moderate. Then you can go for rinsing the water, or you can, if you skip the rinsing water also, not an issue. Okay, better you can go for, you can skip that particular washing with the water. Bacteria appear deep purple in color. It means after adding crystal, all the cells will take up the crystal violet stain. Then we are going to add the 95% ethyl alcohol treatment for 30 seconds and rinse with water. Here actually differences you are going to observe, or distinguishable characteristic can be seen in this condition. Here decolorizing agent, which is going to remove the crystal violet from the bacterial cells which do not have the affinity with the primary stain. Okay, next gram negative bacteria decolorized, right? Then gram positive bacteria which is retained with the deep blue or purple color. Then you are going to add here the counter stained with safranin for 30 to 60 seconds. After that, rinsing with the water, right? Once the rinsing with water is done, the cells, what are the cells which have not taken the stain properly, that will removed, or excess stain will be removed. Gram negative bacteria appear pink, that is red, whereas gram positive bacteria retain deep purple color or maybe a blue color. Okay, so what has happened in this particular case here, the gram stain is a differential staining procedure that shows which bacteria are gram positive or which bacteria is gram negative based on the stain color. We are differentiating based on the color. Okay, based on color differentiation, we are differentiating which is gram positive and which is gram negative bacteria. Alcohol is one of the reagent that is used in this process to provide the color differentiation, right? Gram positive bacteria have a thick peptidoglycan layer and stain purple, while gram negative microorganisms have little or no peptidoglycan and stain pink or red. Okay, now you can make out here the very clear picture about the gram positive and gram negative bacteria. You can see gram positive bacteria, thick peptidoglycan layer, whereas here you can see the thin peptidoglycan layer and thick amount of lipopolysaccharides can be seen. See this gram positive bacteria which has uptaken the crystal violet stain, which has affinity towards the primary stain, whereas this is the gram negative bacteria. Earlier in the initial phase condition, all the organisms have taken the crystal violet stain. Once you apply the decolorizing agent, there what has happened, lipopolysaccharides or lipid molecules were solubilized and removed the crystal violet stain. And when you treat that organism which is colorless with the safranin or secondary stain which has taken the safranin stain. So what has happened in this case, on addition of the decolorizing alcohol to this gram-positive thick cell wall bacteria, dehydrate and shrink, which closes the pores in the cell wall and prevents the stain from the exiting the cell. Okay, gram-positive bacteria will not allow the exit of the primary stain, right, because of the dehydration by the decolorizing agent. In gram-negative bacteria, what has happened? Crystal violet iodine complex gets washed off, right, because there is a presence of lipopolysaccharide molecules. When they are exposed to the alcohol, that is decolorizer, which dissolves the lipids in the cell walls, which allows the crystal violet iodine complex to leach out of the cell. So this is the main basic principle behind the gram positive and the gram negative bacteria. Okay, what reagents used in gram staining and their role. Okay, crystal violet, that is primary stain, violet colored, stains all the microorganisms irrespective of any kind of chemical composition, whereas Grams iodine, which is a moderate, forms crystal violet iodine complexes, right. Next one is decolorizer. We can use decolorizer as acetone or methanol 95% alcohol, which removes the crystal violet iodine complex from thin peptidoglycan layers which dissolves outer layer of the gram negative organism. Then gram safranin, which is a counter stain or secondary stain, which is red color and stains thick thin walled gram negative organism. Once you observe under the microscope, in the exam you need to write the microscopic view of that particular staining technique. So this is the microscopic view of gram positive bacteria and which stains deep blue or purple, and gram negative bacteria which appears pink or maybe red. Okay, and you need to write the result compulsory. So you need to report your observation and the result. This is gram positive bacteria and this is gram negative bacteria. The given culture showed gram positive bacteria or gram negative bacteria you can report. This experiment in your examination carries 7 marks. Principle and procedure 3 marks, preparation of the slide 3 marks, and result carries 1 mark. Okay, so hope you have understood today's concept, right. Let us go through now some of the precautionary measures while performing the gram staining procedure. Fresh and young culture must be taken which is of less than 24 hours old, and that should always be used to avoid misleading results, because old culture of the gram positive bacteria may tend to decolorize more rapidly and show gram negative ones. So that's why you must take care of that particular thing. The smear should be thin and uniform to avoid the populated bacteria. You should not supposed to take a very thick smear into take a thin smear. It means into take a very thin inoculum. During heat fixing, excess heating should be avoided. Okay, excess heating should not be done to avoid the killing of the microorganisms. And the last step, over decolization should be avoided. If you over decolorize, what happens? Everything will be removed, then you won't be able to observe the properly microorganisms and you won't be able to distinguish properly microorganisms. Hope you have understood today's concept of gram staining, right? Now different examples of gram positive bacteria and the gram negative bacteria. The first one is actinomycetes, bacillus, Clostridium, Corynebacterium, Enterococcus, Lactobacillus, Mycoplasma, Staphylococcus, Streptococcus and Streptomyces and many more. Gram negative bacteria, Escherichia coli, Salmonella, then Shigella and other Enterobacteriaceae and Pseudomonas, Boraxilla, Helicobacter. These are some of the examples of gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Hope today you have understood this gram staining technique. Okay. Thank you for watching.